Welcome back to Gerodynamics. All right, so I previously recorded like a handful of political videos, and I was going to upload them throughout the week. Some things I ran into some issues with that, and then also they kind of become outdated when I do that. So I'm finding that what I would like to do is maybe do like a fun video of some sort, movie review, wrestling video, Magic the Gathering, some other like fun video, and then do a political video each day. Maybe two political videos. We shall see. Shorter ones if there's going to be two, and try to record those daily so that I can get those out and they're current and everything as far as that goes. So that's what this is going to be. It's going to be a short political video that I am going to touch on a couple of things, and I will be putting this. I'm recording it Monday night. I'll be putting it out Tuesday morning, and then tomorrow I'll go ahead and I'll record a couple videos and probably put it out Tuesday night and and Wednesday morning, that sort of thing. That's kind of my hope. We'll see. We'll see if this works out or not. Anyways, what should I talk about? So there's plenty of things going on in the world of politics, and I don't want this to be a super long one, so I'm not going to go into everything. But let's talk about. So let's briefly talk about tariffs. So I'm not an expert on tariffs or how they will impact the economy. I do imagine that if they get implemented, that there will be some sort of cost increase that goes along with that. My thought is that we will also have, if they do get implemented, we will also have tax decreases that are going to offset that, and so it may be worth it in the long run. But I'm not like a huge fan of tariffs. The thing is, and this is what I want to talk about here, is these tariffs are not getting implemented. I mean, they hadn't been. I think the ones on Canada are going to be implemented. I think the ones on China are probably going to be implemented. But so far, the ones that haven't been implemented are the ones it's more, hey, we're going to do these, and then it gets Colombia to comply with accepting back their criminals, right? Mexico has agreed to come to the table and is now going to be helping to defend the border by sending their own troops to the border. So that's going to put a pause on the Mexican tariffs. And so I think that's the goal more than anything, is to be able to try to use these tariffs to encourage the sorts of things that we do want to see happen. So I'm going to say that more often than not, these tariffs are not actually going to be implemented unless they force our hand. So with Canada, Canada is right now is just saying, well, they're just going to apply tariffs back. So I could see, but they did have a conversation today. They're going to have another conversation later today. So those tariffs may never get implemented. They may come to an agreement on being able to defend the northern border, right? And so that's what I think will happen with Canada. But it is possible the tariffs will go back and forth. China is much more complicated. So I don't think that that's going to happen. The negotiations are probably not going to get to the point where Trump is not willing to impose the tariffs. So I have a feeling we will be seeing tariffs being applied on China, and China will then apply more tariffs on us. Because if you didn't know, the China already has tariffs on us. So it's kind of like, you know, these other countries already have tariffs on us, but for some reason, we absolutely can't put tariffs on them. No, right now it's looking like we're putting them on them in response to their behaviors and to their tariffs that they already have on us. Okay, so that's what I see happening with that. We'll monitor that as it goes. Another fun one is the whole thing with Panama, right? So Panama, I don't know if he said he was going to implement tariffs on Panama, but he did say that he is saying that they need to have or not renew the contracts with China. China should not be running the Panama Canal, that sort of thing. And at first, Panama was like, no, you don't get to tell us what to do. and then maybe tariffs were a part of the conversation, or he just said, you know what, if you do this, we may have to come in there and I don't know, take it over, I guess. But basically, Panama has come back and said that they will not be renewing the contracts with China. And so that's great. Panama can run the canal themselves. I don't think we need to go down there and take it over. We just wanted to make sure that we were being treated fairly, considering the fact that we built it, and that China wasn't running it, which was a kind of a national security risk and some other issues there. All right, so that happened also. Now, here's my take, and this is just a fun little thing to close out this video. I don't want to have this video go super long. So my fun little take on things, and I don't know, I don't think I've seen anybody else mention this. I saw something similar on a post after I had already mentioned it on Facebook and Twitter. So so I didn't get this idea from anybody else. So let's put that there, all right? And I'm putting this video out there, so we're getting the date stamp on my idea. All right, so my idea is now, and keep in mind, this is if it's not impossible. Impossible and really hard are two different things. And so really hard, it definitely would be really hard to do. But even if it's really hard, we should do it. If it's impossible, obviously we can't. But if it's just really hard, I think we should replace the border wall idea. It's probably still going to be, in some places, and there's reasons to have certain, protections, even on the other side of this idea. The U.S. Canal. Doing a canal all the way from the Gulf of Mexico over to probably all the way to the Pacific, although you could probably have an outlet into the Gulf. What is that called? It's Baja California, but what's the Gulf called? Is it Gulf of California? Let me see. Let me pull it up. I should have known this before I did this video. Now the video is going long. No. All right, let's see here. Map of the United States. What is this thing called? Is it not going to be a part of that? Let's see. Here, let me just see if I can do this. Is it the Gulf of California? It sure is. Gulf of California. All right. So I thought it was the Gulf of California. I didn't want to make myself look stupid and say, yeah, it's definitely Gulf of California and be wrong. Anyways, it could possibly exit out the Gulf of California. Well, can it? Actually, I don't think it can because we don't have... Arizona doesn't border up to it. Mexico is connected to Baja California. So no, it probably couldn't unless we came to an agreement with Mexico. Which maybe we could, but that's kind of defeating the purpose. We will get a U.S. canal all the way from the Gulf of Mexico at the tip of Gulf of Mexico. It's now the Gulf of America, right? So from the Gulf of America at the tip of Texas, right there at Brownsville, I think that is, have it come across. A lot of that is a river anyways, maybe include that as part of the United States Canal or the or the Canal of the United States or American Canal or whatever you want to call it, right? And just have the canal go all the way along the border, all the way to the coast of California, right? Now, mind you, huge project. There's rough terrain in there. I know, not like any like super high mountains, but there is a mountain range or two in there. I know the bottom half or the bottom part of like the Rockies, right? or the Sierra Nevadas. I'm not quite sure. But yeah, I know there's some mountain areas in there. I know part of that is like why you can't have like a wall that connects all the way across either, because there's some terrain where a wall wouldn't make sense due to, the terrain. Um, so maybe it's impossible. But if it's not impossible, I think that would be brilliant because one, it would definitely create another layer of security to keep people from entering illegally. It would also cause us to not have to use the Panama Canal, and we could charge people to actually go through there. Now, I don't know, how much time it'll save them from going around to Panama, but I know that that takes time to head down to Panama. And if you want to cut across from the Gulf of Mexico to Pacific Ocean, that'd be pretty cool. I think it's a super interesting idea. I don't know how likely it is. In fact, it may be impossible, but throwing it out there anyways. This video went longer than I wanted it to, but hopefully you enjoy, and I'll be back again with more political videos in the future. All right, thank you everybody. Take care. Have a good day.